Are you sure your cat loves you? Do you think he purrs with affection? Well, it doesn't. Cats are masters of manipulation, and your pet is probably just using you as a free slave to open canned food and pull the curtains apart in the sunshine. Today, let's break down the top signs you can tell your cat does not love you. Cats are creatures of independent character. Unlike dogs, they are not programmed for blind attachment to humans. They have their own rules of the game, and sometimes these furry lumps do not even consider you their friend. Who are you in your cat's eyes? First things first, the cat ignores you. You call him, and in response, silence? Congratulations, he just doesn't notice you. Unlike dogs, who always run to their owner, a cat may not even turn an ear in your direction. He doesn't respond to your voice, doesn't turn around when you walk into the room, and acts like you just don't exist. An important signal: he won't even respond to you with his tail. If the cat loves you, it may twitch its tail tip or move its ears slightly when it hears your voice. If there is no response, there is probably no affection either. Some cats are just indifferent, but if your cat always refuses to notice you, it's a sign that he doesn't feel much for you. Another indicator is ignoring your presence even at times when he is in a playful mood. Loving cats often take the initiative themselves, rubbing their legs, jumping on your lap, or bringing toys. If your pet remains indifferent to your attempts at interaction, avoids any form of contact, and behaves as if you are simply not in his world, it is a clear sign that he does not feel any particular affection for you. Also, pay attention to how he reacts when you come home. If the cat loves you, it will at least glance in your direction, and some even run out to meet you. If at your appearance the pet continues to do its business without even dignifying you with a glance, then you are insignificant for him. Second, does not give himself to stroke. If every time you approach the cat wrinkles, dodges, or hits you with a paw, he does not need your caresses. Perhaps he tolerates your presence, but love and affection is out of the question. Real cats that have warm feelings for the owner do not run away from his hands, but on the contrary, looking for contact. Especially alarming signal if the cat does not just leave, but hisses or even bites when you try to pet him. This is no longer just indifference, but an active expression of discontent. Most likely, your pet does not consider you a close being and does not feel trust in you. Try to figure out what caused this reaction. Perhaps he has had a negative experience with people in the past, or you yourself once punished him physically. Some cats just don't like to be touched in certain places. For example, the belly, paws, or tail are areas that can be particularly sensitive. If a cat doesn't mind being stroked in the head area, but protests touching other parts of his body, it doesn't mean he doesn't love you. However, if he completely avoids any touch, even the gentlest and most careful, it is already a reason to think about your relationship. Cats with affection come for affection themselves. They rub their legs, jump on your lap, put their head under your hand. If your pet does not do this and at attempts to touch him runs away or shows aggression, he is either afraid of you or simply does not have warm feelings for you. Third, never looks in the eyes. Cats communicate by looking. Attentive, soft, slightly squinted look, a sign of trust and friendly disposition. If your furry friend never looks you in the eye, or worse, turns away when making eye contact, you have a serious problem. Such a gesture means that he does not perceive you as a close person and does not want to establish a connection. Some cats may perceive a direct stare as a threat, especially if there have been violent moments in their past. However, if your pet absolutely never looks at you, not even a glimpse, this is a clear sign of alienation. Affectionate cats often watch their owner, even if they pretend not to care. They follow your movements around the room, may look at you from afar, or watch you closely when you are doing something. If a cat shows no interest in you visually at all, It means they don't see you as a significant object. A sense of emotional connection between human and cat is evident in long stares, slow blinks, and even in the way the pet observes your actions. Complete avoidance of eye contact indicates distrust and lack of affection. Try to establish contact through slow blinks. If the cat responds in the same way, then there is still a connection between you, albeit a small one. If it still turns away and does not want to look at you, then you have a serious problem in the relationship. Fourth, does not lie down next to you. Loving cats sleep next to their owner, or at least in the same room. They feel safe in his presence, so they choose a place closer. If your cat goes to another corner of the apartment, hides in the closet, or settles down away from you, he does not consider you his person. This is an alarming signal that he is uncomfortable being around you. It is also worth paying attention to where he prefers to rest. If the cat ignores the couch, bed, or chair where you often sit, and chooses to sleep in the most remote or hidden places, this is another sign of alienation. Cats with trust, on the contrary, like to be close by, even if just napping a few meters away from their owner. Some pets may not lie closely together, but they do try to stay in the same room. If your cat constantly avoids your presence, even while sleeping, this is a clear sign of a lack of affection. Another important point is the reaction to your movement. Cats attached to the owner may periodically change the place of sleep, following him around the house. If the cat stubbornly remains in its secluded places and does not react to your movement, this is another sign of emotional distance. Fifth, never purrs in your presence. Purring is one of the signs of contentment and happiness. Cats purr when they are enjoying themselves, feeling cozy and safe. If your cat purrs when she eats, but never does it around you, it means she is not happy with you, but with the food. It's especially important to pay attention to the moments when your cat purrs. If she does it only when interacting with other people or animals, but never reacts to your presence, it is a clear signal. She does not feel special love for you. Some cats, of course, do not purr as often, but even they show their affection in other ways, such as rubbing against your legs or lying down next to you. If your pet does not show any of these signs, alas, you are just a roommate for him, not a favorite person. In addition, it is important to consider the tone of purring. It can be not only a sign of pleasure, but also a way to calm yourself in a stressful situation. If your cat purrs only when he's alone, but in your presence he stops talking or even walks away, it may indicate that he feels uncomfortable around you. Sixth, hits you with his paw for no reason. Cats sometimes bite and scratch and play, but it is always accompanied by characteristic postures, movements, and moods. However, if your cat suddenly gives you a paw on your arm or face for no apparent reason, it's not a joke, but real contempt. Some cats may show their irritation or displeasure in this way, but if this behavior is observed on a regular basis, it is no longer just a whim. Your cat may be setting boundaries and showing that he doesn't want socialization. This behavior is common in cats that have been picked up off the street or from a hostile environment. They may not trust people for a long time and may be suspicious of them. If your cat has been behaving this way for years, it's likely that he has simply never had warm feelings for you. It's important to consider the context of this behavior. If a cat sharply paws at you when you approach, it may mean that it is defending its territory and doesn't want you to intrude. Some cats are particularly sensitive to personal space and may react aggressively to attempts to touch them. However, if a cat never shows affection and only interacts aggressively with you, this is a clear sign that they don't like you. Another red flag is if the cat attacks you even when you are not trying to make contact with it. For example, if you are just passing by and she suddenly throws and hits you with her paw, it means that she has accumulated negativity towards you and is expressing her displeasure in this way. In such a case, you should reconsider your interactions with your pet and try to establish contact, For example, through treats or soft games. If your cat constantly ignores you, does not allow himself to be stroked, avoids eye contact, never lies down next to you, does not purr in your presence, and even beats you with his paw for no reason, this is no longer just random behavioral peculiarities. It's a whole set of signs that suggest there is no real emotional connection between you and your pet. Perhaps he tolerates your presence, but has no love, affection, or even sympathy for you. Real cats who are attached to their owners show warm feelings in different ways. They may not like long hugs, but they seek your gaze, lie down next to you, purr, rub against your legs, and show mild inquisitiveness. They are watching you, even if they pretend not to care. If your pet does not show interest in you in any way, it is a reason to wonder. Often people don't notice for years that their cat doesn't like them. They explain her behavior by saying that the cat is just independent, or he doesn't like to be touched. But let's be honest, cats, even the most willful ones, always find ways to show affection if they truly love a person. They may not pet, but they will follow you around the house, make eye contact, and sleep next to you. If none of these things are present, then your pet simply doesn't see you as someone important. Some owners console themselves with the thought that, "My cat is just like that." But perhaps you are the problem. Cats are very sensitive creatures. They remember mistreatment, even if it was accidental. They may reject you if they sense negative energy or if you have hurt them in the past. Even an unconscious rude movement, a harsh tone, or an attempt to force a hug can destroy trust, and it can be incredibly difficult to restore it.